You'll be pleased to know that even Sky News are having to admit there looks like there's going to be a new era for politics. We know that, don't we? But they have to keep up now. The Beth Rigbys and the Adam Boltons. He's probably tucking into some nice juicy steak somewhere or a pie. So there definitely is going to be a new era of politics. And the great thing about the way Nigel Farage has handled himself is, if you look in Europe with what's happening, there's this populist uprising, that's what they call it, where Alice Wielder from AFD party and Marine Le Pen from her party, can't remember the name, they're getting a lion's share of the vote behind them. But the trouble is, because it's proportional representation, which I actually agree with in essence, it doesn't come without its problems, and its problems are that even if they get the most of the votes, what happens is the other parties who didn't get the lion's share group together and decide to push one of them forward, and then the cumulative vote counts and counteracts what the populists have got. That can't happen with reform. It just can't happen. It can't happen with our system anyway, because it's first past the post. But it can't happen with reform because of the way Nigel's set it up. Do not kid yourself that it's not a team effort with reform. This stuff you say, oh, it's a one-man party. No, it clearly isn't. He's brought in a man for IT that is probably first class, I've got to say. Those skills will be needed if they become a government. How else are you going to sort the blob out? Because moving forward, even Frege told I was going to use AI. Pity his mother didn't. Well, I was meaning artificial insemination, actually. I should have thought of that one. But moving forward, reform are hitting the middle ground. The campaign methods are about the middle ground, not the right. As I pointed out in the video yesterday, the right's already voted in this election. They couldn't have been clearer about it, which is why Reform got 4 million votes, but they need 10 million to win. Where's the 10 million going to come from? It's going to come from the centre ground. It's going to come from the ones that don't want to be a bit too risky, that's probably even voted Labour. There's a lot of crowd harvesting to get there. And as a consummate professional, he does the right thing by not being too aggressive on immigration. Let's Rupert handle that. Because nobody can call Rupert anything, can they? He's only been at job 2 minutes. Everybody knows he's a farmer, he's a businessman, he owned a football club. We can't call him the names you call Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage touches that hot potato. Oh, the media will be all over him like a rash. So very sensibly, he delegates these things. Not that they're not coming up with the ideas themselves, but for once, Nigel Farage can sit back and realise it's not all just about him, which is a good thing. So the very fact that these mainstream channels are having to basically acknowledge the shift in the way the country's going, and Nigel's approach, which is more, it's more like what you would expect from a Tory party if they were really Tories. It's like Thatcherism, but with a hint of better social effects. You know, he's quite a big believer in nationalisation, which isn't really a Thatcher thing. So there's a real good balance going on there. Oh, sorry, my dog's got a squeaky toy. Give us a minute. That said, never interpret my enthusiasm for what I can see happening with the country with this new approach with reform for letting them get away with anything, because I won't. That's why I'm not a member of the party. I will pick them up and call them out on issues that I see they've been poorly behaved on, like the rollout. Exceptionally bad behaviour from Richard Tice and David Bull, who's not really so, he's still a supporter. I don't know what he is in the party anymore, but he was, I think, a vice chair or something at the time. Well, the care workers got sacked because they wouldn't join in. 40,000 jobs gone in an industry where we already had malnutrition and people left in soiled underwear getting bed sores because dressings weren't getting changed. I mean, come on. No, you got it wrong. Where the rollout's concerned, you got it wrong. It's all about us making that choice, not you. And I've said in a video on Twitter and Facebook, I've put it out, it's 5 minutes long. It's far more intricate than this one because of the platform levels of what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. But basically, I've made it quite clear that as a commentator, moving forward, I do not want to see politicians rolled out to give any health advice. They're not in a position to do that. The politicians, known for lying, known for twisting things, known for not following through with manifesto promises. So why on earth should we ever allow them to give any health advice? And that moving forward, science should be balanced, both sides available. That is what we want from a new government that's going to do it differently to the last few governments who have done it all the same. Because mistakes have been made, they've been costly mistakes, and unfortunately the only thing that's been absolutely categorical about what went on during the last few years is the profit that's been made. Today in the Telegraph, the Royal College of GPs forgot or didn't declare £100,000 they got from, I think it was one of the big drug companies, during the time they were recommending going through with it for younger people. We don't want this. We don't want billionaires turning up in number 10 with an agenda encouraging encouraging government to spend billions on various things, whether they be health, medicines, but whatever they are. I've got to be careful with my wording. We don't want people so influential going into number 10, which they did according to Dominic Cummings' testimony in the inquiry, and telling the government to spend billions, not to worry about spending the billions, because the profit at the other end is going to be so lucrative. That isn't government. And these people, these billionaires, end up, after they've given this advice, making more billions. That's the bit that's very wrong. So no, I'm not a yes man. I won't sit here, and I've actually named Richard Tice and Lee Anderson and Sajid Javid and Matt Hancock in this video that I've done. It might sound like nothing, I'm not trying to be a big head, but I do have a big reach. I do get people, 100,000 views is commonplace on my Twitter page. I mean, I look back on a video I'd done about 4 weeks ago, and it had 1 million views. I didn't realise. I've been looking at it. So I do this for a reason, and I do this for a reason because I want to see change going in the right direction, not just a different set of faces and all the same shit happening. So that's why I do it. So it's not a very long one today, but I'm determined to make sure that people understand it. I message these people as well, and I know they see them because the ticks go blue, and sometimes I do get responses. But I tend to work on my own because when I join these WhatsApp groups, James Melville sets them up. There's probably 100 people in them, all with big accounts. GB News presenters, James, he's got 500,000. They're all there. And my idea for joining the groups was I thought we could make a powerful impact by deciding, it doesn't have to be my choice, anybody's choice, right, we're going to blog about this today, whatever the topic is. Could it be farming? Could be the tax on farms, could be the rollout, anything. We decide on a topic, we all put something out on our social medias that day about that topic till 12 o'clock, till noon that day. That way, and we do it all in our own way, so I might do a video, James might do a long written piece, and we all put it out at the same time. The reach is phenomenal. It's millions. With the people in the WhatsApp group, I have 200,000 followers on Twitter. James has 500,000 and something. Lawrence has 600,000. You get all those followings together, the reach is phenomenal. It's much greater than any mainstream media. That's what I wanted. That was my idea. That's why I joined the groups. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. And what happens, it just becomes a place of chatter. When I go into the WhatsApp groups, I tend to go in the group and scroll down what's been put in to see what the topic is. But I think what other people do is they look at something they've seen on social media and think, oh, I'll put that in the group. They do it the opposite way around, and thus the groups get cluttered. It just becomes a chatter place. It becomes like a Facebook group or a Twitter feed. It's just boom, 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 all sorts of different topics flying at you at once. So that's why I still work on my own. It's going to take me a bit longer. But nevertheless, I'm growing pretty fast on YouTube. I've 200,000 on Twitter. I've 200,000 on Facebook. I'm doing all right. And I will always be a neutral voice. And my enthusiasm for what I can see Reform achieving doesn't mean to say that when they're going to get off with it. No. These are politicians that told you to do something that couldn't get more personal inside your own body. And to me, that shouldn't come from politicians, especially when inquiries have unfolded information that they were not privy to, were the actual stuff we were told to have failed, and it wasn't as rigorously investigated. It was oversold. It's a product that's been completely oversold, and the blowout from that is what you see with the effects that things have had. Difficult topic to talk about, but I'm just telling you this so that you know. I want you to be confident that if I'm saying it, it's not because somebody's paid me, it's not because somebody wants me to, it's not because I've got a crush on anybody. Somebody actually messaged me and said, you must have a crush on Nigel Farage. I said, actually, I've got a crush on, what's he called, Kevin Costner. Oh, I've got a crush on him. I think he's great. I could have watched Yellowstone forever if he kept him in it. I just like done me blogging, done me housework, looked after my dogs, ate food, drank wine and watched Yellowstone forever. I think he's bloody marvellous. I don't think he'd last long as my husband. I couldn't cope with him as a bloody husband. Oh, my Dave does some hoovering. He goes to shops. I can't see Kevin Costner doing that, can you? Not a bloody chance. Besides, I'd probably have to be on some mad diet, wouldn't I, to keep him interested in having me bloody face pulled back. No thanks, I'd rather have my Dave. Anyway, just to keep you posted, that's what I've done on Twitter and Facebook. If you're on, you can always nip on and have a look. They've just gone on now.